I'm a collage artist and a sculptographer, so I don't take photographs per se, which made me think a little bit how to do this talk thing. So I grabbed a whole lot of books that were next to my bed and collage stuff out of them. So let's start. For the increase and diffusion of geographic knowledge. O God, I could be bounded in a nutshell and count myself a king of infinite space. Autumn waters of this world wake me from my drunkenness. 58% of all subscribers only ever read the captions. Poetry is knowledge, salvation, power, abandonment, an operation capable of changing the world. Poetic activity is revolutionary by nature, a spiritual exercise. It is a means of interior liberation. Poetry reveals this world, it creates another. Bread of the chosen, accursed food, it isolates, it unites. Invitation to the journey, return to the homeland, inspiration, respiration, muscular exercise, prayer to the void. Lost and found. I am looking for the photo that would make all the difference in my life. It's very small and subject to fits of amnesia, turning up in poker hands, grocery carts, under the unturned stone. The photo showed me at the lost and found looking for an earlier photo, the one that would have made all the difference then. My past evades me like a politician wielding a fly swatter. It destroys my collection of cereal boxes. My childhood lived close to the breakfast table. Only that photo can help me locate my 14 lost children who look just like me. When I call the Bureau of Missing Persons, they say, try the Bureau of Missing Photos. They have a fine collection. Here's one of Calvin Coolidge's 7th wedding. Here's one of a man going over a cliff on a dog sled. Here's my Uncle Arthur the night he bought a peacock. Oh, photo, end your tour of the world in a hot air balloon. Resign your job at the mirror testing laboratory. Come home to me, you little fool, before I find I can live without you. Now, in the photograph, what I posit is not only the absence of the object, it is also by one and the same movement on equal terms, the fact that this object has indeed existed, and that this has been there where I see it. Here is where the madness is. For until this day, no representation could assure me of the past of a thing except by intermediaries. But with the photograph, my certainty is immediate. No one in the world can undeceive me. The photograph then becomes a bizarre medium, a new form of hallucination, false on the level of perception and true on the level of time, a temporal hallucination, so to speak, a modest shared hallucination. Clemente's niece, Elena, is a lovely and vivacious 15-year-old. Her proud grandfather assures me that she has shamanic gifts and that she will one day be a great concert. For now she sings maraca in hand, an accompaniment to her teacher. Since Emiliano, the director of the Spanish TV crew, arrived, Elena has not taken her eyes off him. Her gaze is so direct, so natural, that the Spaniard, more curious than uncomfortable, asked her one day, "Why do you stare at me like that?" Elena's dark eyes did not look away from his blue ones. "What is the colour of the world to you?" she asked him. "The same as it is for you, of course," he answered. And she then said something to which he had no reply. "And how do you know what the colour of the world is to me?" An artistic movement, albeit an organic and as yet unstated one, is forming. What are its key components? A deliberate unartiness, raw materials, seemingly unprocessed, unfiltered, uncensored, and unprofessional. What in the last half of the century has been more influential than Abraham Zabruta's Super 8 film of Kennedy's assassination? Randomness, openness to accident and serendipity, spontaneity, artistic risk, emotional urgency and strange culture, plasticity of form, criticism as autobiography, a blurring to the point of invisibility of any distinction between fiction and non-fiction, the lure and blur of the real. And yet those who picture the world as unlimited forget that the number of possible books is not. I will be bold enough to suggest the solution to the ancient problem. The library is unlimited but periodic. If an eternal traveller should journey in any direction, he would find after untold centuries that the same volumes are repeated in the same disorder, which repeated becomes order. The order. My solitude is cheered by that elegant hope. Today I suddenly experienced an absurd but quite valid sensation. I realized in an intimate lightning flash that I am no one. No one, absolutely no one. When the lightning blazed, what I thought was a city became an uninhabited plain. and the sinister light that exposed me to myself revealed no sky above. My power was stolen from me before the world was created. If I were to be reincarnated, I would be reincarnated without myself, without having been reincarnated. I am the outskirts of a non-existent town, a prolix commentary on an unwritten book. I am no one, no one. I don't know how to feel, how to think, how to love. I am a character in an unwritten novel, passing by an airy and unmade, without having existed, amid the dreams of whoever it is who didn't know how to complete me. Sequence, serendipity, have meanings half here and half in the beyond, have a methodology that celebrates masters of mud. Look to poets you love and repeat them in another dimension, confess only to omnidimensional collages, make them have a sort of temporal itchiness. Collage like hope is shipwrecked money, cut like the fragment has no edge. Collage like a wind moving trees, celebrate surprise with collage, make the fragment breathe in the space of its escape. Plant glances like trees, make them determinate your glue, undermine the horizon with that edge, cut the shadows that cast the signs of distance over you, quote so much till you've forgotten the source, quote till you have adopted it as your own, give eagerness a dominion, make frankness fall into a smaller space, treat language with contempt, rip colour away from things and expose it as a super thin thing, let collage reveal in the extra universes behind the line of time, make the blade more accurate than the pen, more fluid than a talking comb. Pay as much attention to a composition as a fish does to water. Collage as though you are the world's slowest animator. Eat off novels in a world that demands to be continued.